I think every man that goes through divorce or separation feels that it is the worst thing that has ever happened to them. And in this video, I'm not promoting or condoning, but what I want to give you is hope and lessons that I would have only discovered through this painful process that was constant anger and confusion and hurt. I want to share with you 5 things that I learned that can support you through this brutal time. And the very first one was, why does this hurt so much? I've broken up with many girls, in the past, but I could not understand why this hurt. And I had to speak to somebody who was a grief counselor of over 40 years. And he said to me, Vince, your soul has been severed. This hurts so much because it's not just the end of a relationship. It is the tearing apart of a soul level attachment. And humans are the only species that connect at the soul level. So when you took your vows, you didn't promise something with your head, you bound yourself spiritually, emotionally, relationally, vulnerably before God, family, and community. Now that covenant has been broken, not just legally or relationally, but at the core of your being. And you're grieving more than the loss of a spouse. You're mourning the death of a dream, the disintegration of your identity, the future that will never happen. That's why grief feels like death, because in many ways it is. Divorce doesn't bring closure like death does. It brings ambiguity. The person who shared your soul, they're still alive. They're still walking around. They're still making choices that affect your heart, but without your consent. And that in its own self is a type of torment. And that's why it matters how you grieve. Now, you don't get out of this by fixing it. This is what us men like to do. You get through it by walking with God, anchoring yourself in the truth that I am His son, I am not alone, I will not be forsaken. I had to say this every single day. My grief counselor told me to say that every single day. This isn't the end, but it is a death. And we need to have a funeral for all the expectations we thought would have happened from this marriage. Second thing I learned was that grief comes in waves. You can be fine in the morning and then completely undone by a memory, a smell, a song, or a silence at night. That's grief. And it always comes in waves, and you have no clue when it's going to hit you. And when it does hit, it doesn't ask for permission. So this isn't just about getting through it. This is about learning how to mourn. I didn't even know what this word meant, because grief is internal, but mourning is grief gone public. Basically, mourning is how you deal with the grief. It's what you do externally, the tangible things. I don't believe in this saying, time heals. It's what you do with the time. A lot of people don't do the right things with the time, so they cry and suffer for the rest of their lives. I'm not saying that scar won't be there, but there is a process that will get you through the grieving. And if you don't mourn, your grief is going to leak out sideways in rage, in cynicism, in emotional detachment, in unhealthy distractions, in false identities, in addictions that numb the ache but never heal the wound. So how do you mourn like a man? You do it intentionally. For me, worship music. I love going to worship concerts, going to church, not because I want to be emotionally moved. That's where I feel God's presence. It's been a healing process for me too. Journaling, just writing stuff down. I don't know why. I'm sure someone can explain the science below, but just writing all my unfiltered thoughts, that just has helped me be honest. And it's also fun to look back and to see the growth. 3, the big one for me has been brotherhood. Finding not men who are just going to try and fix you and tell you to toughen up, but who will listen to you and who will just sit with you in the ashes and who will say, dude, I'm so sorry, man. Oh, man. I had so many guys in my corner who just said, man, I'm so sorry. Oh, that's brutal, dude. Oh, man, I'm praying for you. That's all I needed. Next, long drives. Sometimes you just need to cry on the highway where no one sees you. I never cried for 42 years. I think 2 or 3 times in my life. And then a therapist told me when I started to cry all the time, my daughters are always asking me, like, even just when I come downstairs and they give me their birthday presents, like, Dad, are you crying? Like, I cry all the time. I'm like, I don't know what the heck happened to me. I told the therapist this, and she said, crying is ice melting. You just disconnected your head from your heart, that you just had ice and now you've melted it. So you can, I freaking cry like a lake sometimes. It's crazy, but I love it. It feels amazing. Lifting, running, hitting, whatever you got to do, but you got to move your body. For me, it's running and it's hitting the gym. Engage the physical so you don't stay trapped in the emotional. And this isn't about fixing anything. Mourning is about honoring what's been lost and refusing to let that loss define you. I'm still struggling through this. Even the titles of my videos are almost like an identity thing, and I'm still trying to figure this piece out. But understand, you're not mourning a breakup. You're mourning the severing of a soul tie. So you can, cut me some slack, everyone. The death of a dream, the unraveling of identity. This isn't a relationship ending. This isn't just a random, like, oh, we had a good time together. This is spiritual dislocation. And that requires sacred space to grieve, to cry out, to question, to rage, to surrender, to trust that even in your brokenness, God is shaping something internal inside of you. And here's a little mantra someone gave me. I will not grieve in silence. I will mourn with intention. I will walk through this valley like a man of God. The next lesson is that you are capable of so much more than you think. When I first got married, I think I had this idea of like, hey, I'm the guy that makes the money. I'm the provider. I'm gonna give my family a great life. That's my role. I think I figured my partner would take care of the rest. She'd manage the home, raise the kids, handle the taxes, the bills, just keep the family running. And I needed someone who would complete my life to make this picture perfect family. But the truth is, I didn't need someone to complete me. I never realized I needed to figure out how to complete myself. And this pain forced me into that discovery. And I discovered that my identity wasn't limited to just being a provider and a protector. Crazy enough, I realized that I want to be a good dad. It actually required me to shift my priorities because the kids needed me. I feel like a beast now. I feel like a tank. I'm blown away by how much I have learned how to carry, not on my own, but this pain revealed my capacity. Pain revealed the stuff I still need to work on. And that is the gift of pain. I share that with you because that is the gift of pain. It doesn't show you what broke. It shows you what still needs healing. So like the takeaway here is that you are capable of so much more than you believe. The fourth lesson is that your kids will be okay. I used to believe that it doesn't matter how bad the marriage is, at least the kids will see a family unit. I always thought that staying together at any cost was better than separation. And I really do believe like it's worth working through it. Like do whatever you have to do to save it and make it work. But here's the truth. Some marriages that stay together damage kids more than ones where parents separate. Constant fighting, distance, coldness in the home, that shapes them too. There's even research that shows that kids can still thrive if they just have at least one stable, strong parent in their life. And that hit me hard. My kids don't need perfect circumstances. They need what I can control, which is a present, stable father. And the last lesson that I've learned is that you can only focus on what you can control. But in this process, stuff, let's just put it that way, stuff is going to happen and you're going to feel angry. You're gonna feel confused. You're gonna feel jealous. You're going to feel rejected over and over. You will feel betrayed. And chances are she's gonna move on faster than you. So listen to me. Don't go off the rails with toxic texts. Stop looking at her social media. Stop negatively focusing on all the things that she's doing that you're paying attention to. Don't weaponize your kids. Never badmouth their mother in front of your kids. Don't try to win by making her suffer. Because here's the truth. You go down that path, you will lose. Proverbs 25:28 says it best. Like a city whose walls are broken through is a man who lacks self-control. Your emotions aren't the enemy. In fact, I encourage you to feel them deeply. But they need a leader, and that leader is you. If you need help with this specifically, if you need strong men around you to walk through the fire and come out stronger, then I'd like to invite you to join the Bedrock Brotherhood, a community of intentional dads, fathers, leaders, men who want to raise their standards, live intentional and disciplined lives, and be held accountable and supported with other men. If you're ready to stop losing and start winning again and start leading, and you're ready to rebuild your confidence, get on the waiting list today. You'll be the first to notify when we reopen the doors. If you enjoyed this video, I just dropped a great one called I'm 45. Watch this if you're in your 20s or 30s. I think this one will help you even further. Until next time, level up or level off. Ciao, ciao.